Okay, today, first thing what we are going to learn is called opacity maps. Opacity map. What is this opacity map and what are the uses of it? Let me show you with an example. Very, very useful and very interesting. I will just draw. I have two images here. Let me show that image. See, I have two trees here. It's a image and this is the opacity map. If you just go and render this in the 3D Max, you will not have, you will see this background. It will be just like a picture, is it not? Because there is white marks here. So how will you create a tree? That is when you put this opacity map top of this, and you can create wonderful objects. Okay, so this opacity maps, any object you can create the opacity maps using Photoshop. Using Photoshop, you can create any Photoshop. So you require the original image. It can be JPEG, it can be PNG, and you require opacity map. We call it alpha channel map. If you have these two together, we can create three trees in 3D Max. I will create a rectangle, plane, not rectangle, plane. I'll create here plane. I will create in the elevation. Okay, so the length is 40, 47.8, 33. It need not be exactly 50 also okay. 47.8, 33. 33.9. Yeah, I took the same. It can be 339 or 378, 339 or 478 like that. But we can take 33.9 like that. So I created this size here approximately. Now I will put that image top of this. So I'm using the compact material, which will be easier. Okay, you can use the slate material also, but some item no compact material very easy. So I'm just explaining through compact material. So I have taken this slot and I have selected this object outside method to selection. So this material has been selected, applied to this. I will go to diffuse map. You see here diffuse map, bitmap. Now you select that one, which is to be copied in the 3ds Max, one of the paths. And now we want to render something. All these images has to be put in the 3ds Max installed where, make a directory and copy there. Then only you'll see the rendering. I copied under the 3D Max. Yeah, I copied here. I copied under the 3ds Max is here. Under 3ds Max, I copied here. So this is image. Okay, open. So it has come here, but it has to come here. I will show. So it has come. Up to here it's clear. Only just created a material, click the diffuse and apply the map. Now if you render, you see like this only. We don't want like this. What is the use? Is it not? Okay, so we want to use the opacity map. Top of this we have to put. So since you have applied the image, you are in the next level. You can see here, parent has come here. If you want to go back, to click this. This is your basic things like this. When you click this map, you are coming to the second level. So you have to come back to the first level. And there are maps here, click. So there are different type of maps are there. Diffuse map, diffuse, specular, so many things are there. Here we'll check the opacity map. You can see here opacity. I'll click this, click. Again, I will apply bitmap. Now I will select the opacity map. Opacity map. Now the two things I have. One is for the diffuse map, the other for opacity map. So we applied the opacity map. You see now? You see now our tree? That white portion has been removed. Are you getting some idea? So that is the power of opacity map. So what are the things you require? One original image. Then you require opacity image. Lap together. For example, you want to bring a person. You want to bring a person. You take the photograph of that person. Take it to Photoshop. Create a opacity map of that overlap. So you feel that one person is standing there. Otherwise, how will you put the person? Okay. So that is the advantage of opacity map. I will create an image with the. So what we are going to learn is basic reflection map. In this picture, in this teapot, you want to show a reflection of an image. Suppose you have a boundary outside, boundary picture you put. So that reflection is coming on this teapot. Very interesting, is it not? In the pot, instead of putting color, you are projecting a map. That's what we are going to do. Reflecting a map. Okay, so what we'll do, I will go to the second. Assign. It has come here. So what are the steps involved here? First, create a material, apply to the object, select the reflection map. Just now we have seen the opacity map like that. You will be using the reflection map. Like the opacity map, we'll be using the reflection map and select a picture which is to be reflected. Okay, let us see. So here, I will click the diffuse button. I don't want diffuse, is it not? I don't want diffuse. I want reflection. Are you following? Earlier, we use diffuse as well as the opacity together. Here, we want to just reflect something only. So I will not use the diffuse here. Instead of that, I go down, open the maps. There is a reflection here. Instead of opacity, reflection. I will click this reflection, bitmap, and select something you want to project. Suppose I want to, this picture I want to project on my teapot. Okay, open. You see how it is projected here? You see how it is projected here? You have already applied the material to this. Show viewport. You see that image? You can see some small reflection there. Can you see a small reflection? Can you see a small reflection, that image? It's not that much clear, no? So how can you make it clear? Because the diffuse color is, if you make it a diffuse color a little less, we can make the image more clear. Okay, so I will go to parent. I'll go up. I will ambient and diffuse. It should be the same color for ambient and diffuse. It's already locked. Click it. You can see in the port this here, if you reduce the light, what happens? You see, becoming more and more. I'll put the full black. Diffuse color, instead of gray color, I made it black. Can you see? It's more clear. More clear, no? Some things you can, if you want to get a little more effective here, suppose I make the specular level. And sometimes this picture will not be this much clear like this. Maybe some small blur will be there. So you can change the blur value. When you click the reflection map, there is here blur value here. Blur offset, and you can reduce a little bit this. Increase a little bit, 0.1. Too much. Got it? So whatever you want, suppose you are creating a beautiful thing and you want to project the Asadi picture. Asadi picture you want to project. You can very easily do it, is it not? Select the, and you can show. It will be very effective. Some special effect you can do. Listen, please, 1 minute. When you render now, you see black background here. How will you change the background? When you render, the background is black. Correct? So how will you change that black background? Sometimes you want your own picture keep as a background. Rendering. Rendering environment. Can you see here, these colors control that black or white. Suppose you want background, another color, green. You select the green. Now you render. You want to keep white color. Okay. Render. You can see white background. Suppose you want to keep an image instead of the color. That's also possible. Under the environment map, click this one, bitmap, and you select which image you want to keep background. For example, I will keep this one. Okay. You can see when you render it, you can see that picture. Now you see that picture and this is not matching. This you have to adjust with the camera, adjust the position so that you feel that the object is exactly the same location. Okay. So now I want to show you the reflection about how these items reflect on this. Select this one. Now you can see there is nothing here. You see only background. No reflection is coming. I want to create this boundary, this background image, and the material, the objects in the scene is reflected on this. So how can I do that? So for that, I will go to maps, go down maps, and I will go to reflection. Instead of selecting the bitmap, I will select the reflect, refract, this one, reflect, refract. Reflect, refract has come. You can just render and see now. You can see that all the things are projected on this. I did a mistake here. Instead of refraction, I have to do the reflection. Reflection. So every time happens, instead of reflection, you take refraction. You can see the projection.